Good morning, Shefa Bracha V'Atzlacha. The shiur is of course going לעילוי נשמה של כל הנרצחים וכל ההרוגים, all those who were killed and died fighting, and to רפואה שלמה כל הפצועים, all the wounded, and the return back safely home of the kidnapped people as soon as possible, and to the success of our soldiers that will bring the victory, the Marabi Amenu Amen, and we'll all come back safely home. Parashat Toldot. And on the beginning we have a very interesting question. ואלה תולדות יצחק בן אברהם, אברהם הוליד יצחק. Those are the descendants of Yitzchak ben Abraham, Abraham הוליד יצחק. If Yitzchak is the son of Abraham, of course Abraham gave birth to Yitzchak. What does it mean? What's the Torah trying to tell us? So the first, there are a lot of explanation. One of them is a very simple one. If you remember, Sarah for many years didn't have any baby, couldn't get pregnant from Avraham Avinu, and then she's being kidnapped to the palace of Abimelech, and after this, 9 months later, she's pregnant and she's got a baby. So everybody thought, they were saying, yes, look at it. For all those years she couldn't bring a baby, now she's got a baby, so the baby is not from Avraham, it's from Abimelech when she was captured there. So that's what happened. And they had also another argument that when you see Yitzchak brought to the world 2 sons, Yaakov and Esav. Yaakov is a tzaddik and Esav is a rasha. So they said, yeah, of course, Yaakov is from Sarah Imenu, and Esav is from Avimelech. Because if it was really, there was 2 sons that were the sons were all both righteous, so definitely Yitzchak was born from Avraham Avinu, because Avraham Avinu was a tzaddik, Yitzchak and Sarah Imenu was a tzaddiket. So if the son comes, Yitzchak comes from both of them, so his children would be tzaddikim also. But when we see that one of the children is a rasha and one is a tzaddik, so it means that it's not from Avraham Avinu. What did God do? God made Yitzchak the spitting image of Avraham Avinu. In other words, those are the Toldot of Yitzchak, the son of Avram, and everybody who looked at Yitzchak, he could see Avram olided Yitzchak. There was no doubt about it. Avram olided Yitzchak. But there is something deeper than this, because afterwards it's written, Vayitzchak ben 40 shana, vekachto et Rivka bat Betuel. Then later on we're being told about the marriage of Yitzchak. And it's all connected to the Akedat Yitzchak. What was happening at Akedat Yitzchak? Avraham Avinu is Chesed, and Yitzchak is Gvura or Din. So we have from one side we have the Chesed, which is charity, Chesed, love, and from the other side we have Din, judgment, and this, and Akedat Yitzchak, what was happening is that the 2 were combined to 1. It's very interesting. In other words, Chesed by itself is no good, and Din by itself is also not good. Chesed, like to be merciful on everybody, is no good, because you can be merciful on evil people also, and that's Avraham Avinu, merciful. He is even have a whole discussion about Stom and the people. So we understand really, if we're going to go on the way only Avram, only Chesed, which is absolute Chesed, absolute charity, absolute caring on the other, absolute mercy, absolute, it's not going to be good, because the good is going to go also to the evil, and they will gain for it, and the world is not going to be a good place to live, because you can be a sinner, you can do terrible things, and the Chesed will come and says, okay, I'm going to be merciful on you and everything is okay. From the other side, if the world will be only on judgment, we already saw that God understood that you cannot do this. If you do something wrong, you are going to get punished severely, because you did something against God. In other words, if somebody is a tzaddik, will do a mistake, he is going to be punished severely. So in other words, we cannot have this one with the other one. What does it mean? And this, by the way, is very interesting, because if you take the chesed and you take it with the judgment together, in other words, which mean when there comes a place to have chesed, to be merciful, and you look at the situation and you understand that this guy is evil, if you're going to let him live is going to bring damage and a lot of bad to the world. And this is, by the way, a whole discussion that we have also today. You can be merciful on the Palestinians in Gaza, but it's going to cost you, because you can be also merciful on all the terrorists. Okay, they did what they do, but I'm going to be merciful. That is chesed. So what's going to happen? They will come and attack again. So in other words, you need also the judgment. So in the minute you have a situation like this, that the bad is in front of you, and you have the chesed from one side, so you have also the judgment from the other side, and you go in with the judgment and says, okay, this case, no chesed. You have to pay for what you did, because otherwise it's going to be even worse, and you're not going to fix anything. From the other side, if we have judgment on everything, so if you did a mistake and did something, so the din is going to come and force you to pay for it. And sometimes you went against God, okay, you're going to be killed. Then here comes the chesed. And the chesed comes and says, 1 minute, let's check the guy. Maybe there is a way that is going to be better, and let's say in the days to come, he's going to improve himself. So the chesed comes and mix it together with the judgment, and the guy is, okay, we'll give you a chance. You're not going to get punished. It's very interesting to understand this, how important this situation is, because we see it in life. We see that, and it's not easy and it's not simple, but it's a whole thing. We understand that they cannot be, let's say, only chesed, and they cannot be only din, because this world is not going to exist. And when there is a hope, and that was, by the way, the discussion of Avraham Avinu, when he asked for a few people, tzaddikim in Sdom, as we said, it meant tzaddikim that have an influence on the others. Even if they're not the greatest tzaddikim, but the minute there is an influence on others and there is a chance that they're going to fix the things, then that is good. In other words, if the chesed and the din serving the mission of having a better world, that's unbelievable. And that's exactly what the Torah is telling us. It said, you have to see, Ele Toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham. Yitzchak is the son of Avram. And the Torah says that this was happening, this combination was happening of the chesed and the din was happening in Akedat Yitzchak. When the judgment and the mercy, to be merciful, and to have chesed, all these things is working together now. Now, he can get married, and they bring Yaakov to the world, and Yaakov is the combination of Chesed and Gvura from Yitzchak and Avram. And it's very, very interesting when you look at the Akedah, you can check it. It's let's go to the Akedah back. It's unbelievable when we see that Avram Avinu is being ordered by God to go and sacrifice his son, and he goes. And look what's written. It's written by Kachet Shnei Na'arav Ito. He takes his two boys, that were Eliezer and Ishmael, and Yitzchak, and his son Yitzchak. And then he goes to the place where God told him to do. Then on the third day, he gets to the place, and he sees the place from afar. You sit here, he says to Ishmael and Eliezer, you sit here, I'm going with the boy, with Yitzchak. And then is written, Vaikach Avraham et haseolah. He takes the wood for the altar, and he puts it on Yitzchak his son, and he takes the fire and the knife. Vayelchu shnehem yachdav, and they both went together. Yachdav. Now, be aware. Then they're going on, and Yitzchak is asking, where is the seh? Where is the lamb? Where is what you're going to sacrifice? He says, don't worry, we'll find it. And he gives him a clue. You are Selo Labni. You are going to be the sacrifice. And what's happening? Is any of them changing his mind? No. Vayelchu shnehem yachdav. They're both going together. Together, yachdav. And I'm not going to go to the whole story, but afterwards, when it's all finished, after this elevation they had, and the Akedah, and Baruch Hashem, Yitzchak is saved, is written, a minute, Vayashov Avraham el Na'arav, And Avram went back to his boys, Eliezer and Ishmael. ויקומו וילכו יחדיו. And they got up and they went יחדיו, together. But look, it's written Vayashov in singular, like one came back. And there are a lot of midrashim that said Yitzchak didn't come with him. But if we're going on this interesting point, that every time that Avram Avinu is with Yitzchak, is written Yachdav. It's not written when he goes with Eliezer and Ishmael. And here, again it's written. In the beginning, when he was going with Eliezer and Ishmael and also with Yitzchak, it's not written Yachdav. He went with them. Not together, not Yachdav. But here, again it's written Yachdav. So, what does the Torah try to tell us? The Torah tries to tell us that Vayashov, in singular, at that moment, after what was happening in the Akedah, they were like one. Yitzchak and Avram were like one. It's the same written about Moshe and Aaron. Who Moshe and Aaron, who Aaron and Moshe. It says, who, he is Moshe and Aaron, but he says that they are Moshe and Aaron, not he in singular. In plural, you should write. So tell us that Moshe and Aaron got to the level that they both were one in fulfilling the mission of their life, was taking Am Yisrael out of Egypt. Anyway, this is one why we say when in marriage, vayafchu le'echad. In marriage, when a couple is married, they become one. It's very interesting to see that. So in other words, the Yachdav that we see in the Akedat Yitzchak brings us to understand. Ele Toldot Yitzchak ben Avram, Avram ulit Yitzchak. There's something very interesting also. The Torah is trying to tell us, you know, where the judgment comes from. Judgment by itself, as we said, is din, is not so good. But the Torah is making it clear that the din of Yitzchak comes from where does it come from? Where does it come from? From Avraham Avinu, from Chesed. And that's unbelievable. By the way, I don't know how to say it in English, but Chesed, there is Chesed, Din, Verachamim. Rachamim is to, I don't know how to explain it in English. What's the difference between Chesed and Rachamim? But the idea is, Chesed is you give, you do, it's only good. 100% good. You forgive everything. And Din is absolute no forgiveness. And Rachamim is this mixture that is really being merciful in the right way. It's like you have a son and you want to be good to him, but he's putting his hand in the electricity. He's a little boy, doesn't know. What are you going to have? Are you going to punish him? Of course you're going to punish him. You're going even to hit him or to throw him out from the danger. Said, hey, why do you hit me? Why do you do this? Because it's for your own good. But that's exactly the thing. To educate, you need to have both. You need to have the judgment and be merciful. And that's exactly the idea when we understand what's the idea of a couple, of Am Yisrael, of educating children. This all has to be the mixture. You cannot be merciful and tolerate the evil that those terrorists did. They said, "Kol hamerachem al achzarim, sofo litachzer larachmanim." Those who have mercy on the evil, on the bad, eventually there will be evil to those that are good. And we see it all over history. And this is why we have to be very careful the way we talk and what we say, and understand and realize that the picture has got two sides. And when the world is telling us, military, be nice to them, but the world doesn't talk about all those kidnappers, all those were kidnapped. They don't talk about this brutal. I don't want to talk about it. I think we all heard about it enough. Suddenly they're all being merciful to who? To who? Ceasefire? You do ceasefire, they're going to arm themselves again. They are hiding underneath, in tunnels, deep inside earth, while the civilians are outside. But I want just to explain the point that we have to understand sometimes you have to be cruel. It's not cruel. It looks like you're cruel, but it's merciful. Because you do what you have to do in order to have a better world. And Bezrat Hashem, I hope that our Chayalim will do the best job they can, and they're doing it. Very careful about civilian. From the other side, you have to finish the job we started. It's like it's written in. There is the story in our parasha also about Avimelech. Yitzchak is being unbelievable. Like whatever he does is very, very successful. It gets to the point that the Palestinians, the Plishtim, yes, they jealous. So Avimelech, the king, comes to him and says, "Please leave the place. We cannot have you here. You are too good for us." And they, because of the jealousy, they send him away. Later on, is happening something very interesting. Avimelech comes back from Gerar, and he comes with other people, and Yitzchak is asking, "Why did you come here? You hate me. You sent me away." And they say, "Oh, we saw that God was with you, and we don't want to have a fight. We want to have a covenant between us, both of us, that we have peace between us. And you cannot do evil to us when we didn't touch you and we did only good with you. We didn't touch you, did only good with you, and we send you away in peace. And now you are blessed by God." Very strange. What the good they did? You see, in the Megillah, we have the king is waking up in the middle of the night and is asking for his servants to read to him the history that's written in his books. And they read about Mordechai that saved the king. So he's asking, what is being done with Mordechai, a Yehudi, with this Jewish guy? Nothing. In other words, what was his reward? They send him safely without killing him, without torturing him, without taking his money. That's what Avimelech is telling him. You have to say thank you to us. We did only good with you. We sent you away. We didn't touch you. We gave you all the property, all the money you had. We didn't touch the money. We sent you in peace. You have to thank us. And that's the story all over the history. Wherever the Jews come, they bring prosperous and success. And we see also today, look at Nobel Prizes. Who is the main people that get the prizes? But when a Jew is coming too successful, then all the hatred comes out. And that's exactly what did Avraham Avinu tell to Avimelech. Rak en yirat Elokim b'makom hazeh. That was the Avraham Avinu said to there is no fear of God. You can have manners, and we saw it with the German and Nazis, what they did. They had it's not like the Hamas. They were educated. They had culture. They had everything. They were the most sophisticated culture in the West. And look what happened, because there was no fear of God. I think the Rab Kanievsky Zatzal says that it's like when a great rabbi tells you, "Go away, I don't want you here." It's an insult. It's really a bad thing. But when a leader of a group of robbers, a villain, tells you, "Go away from here because otherwise the people here were going to kill you," so he's really saving him. And this is what Avimelech is saying. You have to understand. I told you to go, and we let you go with all the things you had because I wanted to save you. Because the people here are so jealous about you that they can turn on you, and who knows how it's going to end. So I did it only for your good, which is also an explanation. But this is something for us to think. That you see, we send you in peace. But why did he come? From love to Yitzchak? No. Because what happens is, they realized that all the success they had, all the prosperous, all the fruits and everything they had there was because the blessing of Yitzchak. The minute Yitzchak left, all the blessing went. When Am Yisrael left Eretz Yisrael, this was a desert. If the Goyim will understand it, Be'ezrat Hashem, they will do what Avimelech is doing. They will come to us and says, "Please, let's make peace." Because we know that all the blessing is because of you, Am Yisrael. Of course, Am Yisrael, when it's connected to the Torah, doesn't go by itself. Torah and Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael. And this is exactly what this parasha is all about. When the word were realized, like Avimelech realized, we sent him away, we were jealous, we couldn't see his success, and what happened? We lost everything. There is a desert. Nothing grows. So they had to go and do peace with him in order to get the blessing back. So our wishful thoughts, praying to God, that all the nations, that now we have those people demonstrating against us, not realizing what the truth is. When they will realize that all the success and all the good of this world depends on Am Israel, living in Eretz Israel, in peace, and building the temple, this was going to bring peace and prosperity to the whole world. So let's pray that Be'ezrat Hashem, the Chesed and the Din of Avram and Yitzchak, which is combined in Yaakov, which is inside us, will lead us in the best way for the whole Goyim to see the light, the right light, and come and tell us, let's make peace. Because now we realize that all the good of this world comes from where? From Am Israel. All the best.